Okay, the bench press, little bit of a Benson. I can't speak, excuse me. Bench press session. Start again. I just did a quick set of 20 reps with 60 kilos, just to have a little feel. And now I'm going to lower the reps right the way down. I'm going to be going up in sets of 5. This is basically hopefully going to be a heavy session. I genuinely play it by ear. You guys will, if you've been watching my videos, you know I suffered a pec injury earlier on in the year, and rotary cuff injury, like a reoccurring rotary cuff injury. A few years ago I tore my rotary cuff, and many years ago I tore my pec, and they've both been playing up at the same time. So at the moment I'm just working on trying to rebuild my bench press, but I really do play it by ear. I've been doing a lot of sort of high volume bodybuilding style workouts, but the injuries are still there. They have good days and bad days. So I'm hoping today is going to be a good day, because it's been quite painful, quite uncomfortable. A couple of weeks ago you might have seen me do 5x5 with 4 plates. So what I'm hoping tonight to work up to is some heavy doubles with more than 180 kilos, but I'm playing it by ear. So I'm just going to do 100 kilos very quickly now for 5 reps, and then if it feels good I'll go straight to 140. If it's not feeling so good I'll do 120, or if it's feeling terrible I just won't carry on. I'm genuinely playing it by ear. Yeah, felt fine. I'm going to get some wrist straps and bits and pieces on, and then set up for 3 plates. Okay, so got some wrist straps on. When I'm at full strength, I don't really tend to use anything. I try to stay as raw as possible until I'm hitting my heavier weights. And ordinarily the idea is every set as I get heavier, I give myself a little bit more help. So I start putting on wrist straps ordinarily more like 180 plus, and then I get my elbows, sleeves and things on normally 200 kilos plus. But because I'm operating at 70% capacity at the moment, I'm just sort of strapping up and being a bit more cautious, because my body isn't really conditioned to the heavy stuff at the moment. So even though you've seen hopefully with the squats and the deads, they're going really well. I hit a really heavy Zercher squat recently. That should be my last video that I uploaded. And my deadlifts have been going very well as well. I was back up repping at 380 relatively comfortably. so they've gone very well. But the pushing has been much slower in terms of recovery. So yeah, getting these wrist straps on, and I'm just going to have a feel of this anywhere between 3 to 5 repetitions now. Yeah, pretty comfortable. I'm going to go to 180. That felt fine. I'm not a very explosive lifter when it comes to pushing. I've had to, and also pulling. Actually, I'm not a very explosive lifter, which is strange considering I'm reasonably powerful. But I don't move things fast, particularly. I tend to be reasonably consistent with my pace. So with that first rep, I just wanted to kind of get a little bit of a feel of it, make sure it felt okay. And I could tell just by resting on my chest for a second or so and like controlling it, it felt fine. Did a full lockout and I just pumped out a few reps after that. But it wasn't too bad. So if you are someone who is maybe coming back from injury or what have you, take your time, take your time. I'm doing quite big weight jumps at the moment, but I really am going by feel. If it didn't feel right, I would either stop or I would, do much smaller weight jumps. So rather than jumping up at 40 kilos a time, I might do just like 10 kilos per side or what have you. Okay, anyway, right. Next set, I'm going to get some elbow reps on. No, in fact, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm not going to. I'm going to do it without elbow wraps, but I'm just going to feel a double with the 180 because I want to save my energy for the main events. My goal, I'm going to see what the 180 feels like, and then I might go 200, or I might be go wishful thinking. I might be a psychopath and go 220. I'm going to genuinely just see how 180 feels. I'll know when I get underneath the bar. I've done 180 countless times over the years, like literally countless times. I'm not very good at maths, so I can't count that way. But I'm just trying to get comfortable with it again. I haven't touched 180 for, it'll be about 10 days now. So I'm going to go, get underneath it, see what it feels like in my hand. I'm going to try and do it without elbow sleeves or elbow wraps or whatever. And then, if it feels good, I'll move something heavy. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. This is where I kind of have to be in two minds. I want to go heavy, but you also have to be cautious. But okay, so what I'm doing here tonight is just kind of guiding you through my thought process. Now, I'm not saying the 180 felt the easiest anything's ever felt before. It doesn't feel like the 180 of old. If I do 200, it's going to take the edge off my strength, if I'm honest, because my strength endurance for the heavy stuff on my pushing just isn't there at the moment. I can tell. My kind of max effort, max strength stuff, the effort isn't there. So I'm going to throw caution to the wind, and I'm just going to see what 5 plates feels like. 220. Hopefully I won't die. That would kind of suck if I did. But I can't say that the injury is hurting tonight, to be honest with you. I'm aware of this. I'm aware of the pec. I'm aware of the shoulder. I'm not saying it's super comfortable, but it's not hindering me. I'm just not quite as strong. I'm a lot weaker than I was. Decisions. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for 5 plates. Change of plan. So I know I said doubles, no, I'm not going to do doubles. I think I could do that for a double, but honestly, to be honest with you, it's scary. What I'm going to do is rebuild my confidence, but I'm going to do it with singles. I just want to get used to getting that over my face. If I feel more confident, I'll maybe do 2 reps, but I'm going to do some singles instead. Anywhere from 3 to 5 singles. Right. I'm not going to give myself that much rest. We are getting better. Yeah, it's just when you do that breed of weight, it's just scary. That's 3 singles. I'm gonna get 5 singles. I'm trying to pause on my chest a little bit as well. One touch and go with heavy weight, I'm not a fan of. With lighter stuff it's okay, but heavy stuff, particularly when you're coming back from injury, I prefer to be a bit more cautious. But also, pausing on your chest, it just builds that confidence. Alright, number 4, coming up. Still feeling okay, still feeling okay. I don't ordinarily do this, to be honest with you. But psychologically, just getting under the 220, knowing the kind of injuries and things I've had recently, it's quite daunting, so I'd rather take my time. Okay, last one. Rebuilding a bench press. I'm not what I was. The strength isn't there yet, but you guys know I'm always hard on myself. I shouldn't complain. All right. That went okay. That went okay. It was a change of plans. I'm an experienced trainer, so I know when things are okay and things aren't, and as I said, psychologically, I think I probably could have got a double, maybe not with the same pauses, but I could have probably got a double. But yeah, as I said, as soon as I unracked it, I didn't feel confident in terms of, I felt the strength was there, but it was just a little bit scary, to be honest with you, getting underneath it. So what I'm going to do now is a little bit more in the way of support work. So I'm just going to do a bit of incline now. This isn't going to be like a full support session by any means, but I'll get sort of probably about 3-4 sets of incline in there, some higher rep stuff, and just see how it goes from there. So I'll start out, I'll do a couple of little warm-ups, and then I'll tune you guys in for the main event. Incline, I'll probably stick to, I don't know, maybe about 140. Yeah, I'll probably do in the region of about 140 or thereabouts. So this is just my support stuff isn't going to be super high reps, but it'll be sets of sort of 5 to 8 maybe. I'll see when I get underneath it, because I've been doing some very, very high volume bodybuilding stuff, like super high reps recently. So when I go max, I keep the
volume and the reps very, very, very low. My support work, so those of you who are maybe new to the channel or have kind of forgotten, for each of my major movements, I basically break my movements into three. I do my sort of push, I do my hinge movements and my deadlift, and I do a squat movement. Those are my three sort of big lifts, and my training is kind of built around those. But it's not what you say sort of typical powerlifting style. I have quite a lot of variety. So with each movement, I then break it into three different types of workouts. And again, this works pretty well for me. I have a heavy day. So what I will do, I will choose a heavy push movement that I'm going to be focusing on, and I'll do a little strength block based around that. So at the moment, my strength block is based around the bench press. I'm also doing a bit of overhead press as well, but my main focus is trying to rebuild my bench whilst being injured, or recovering from injury, should I say. So I ordinarily on that day, I will work up to a heavy set of 5 or multiple heavy sets of 5. And then I will gradually, over a few workouts, bring that down to maybe a heavy double, and maybe even work up to a heavy single. I jumped ahead of the game today. I was meant to have been on doubles, but again, you know, you have to, you've heard me say before, don't be a slave to the program. So I will then ordinarily throw in another exercise, 1 or 2 exercises to do a bit of support work. It might be something like an incline press and some side raises, or it might be a seated shoulder press and some side raises, or something along those kind of lines, and a little bit of tricep work. But that's ordinarily just very high rep, like band push downs or something like that. My next workouts will be a more bodybuilding style workout, and that is where I do very high volume and much higher rep range. I don't really tend to drop below 10, and it can be anything up to sort of 30 reps or more. I do drop sets, supersets, I pre-exhaust, and do every kind of bodybuilding trick you can imagine. Giant sets and you know, all that kind of stuff, FST 7s, and you name it, I do it. And then my third workouts will be basically a support workout. So those I will focus on exercises that I find really support the bench press or support the squats. So for instance, if I'm working on the back squats, then a box squat might be worth throwing in. I also use techniques like accommodating resistance. So I'll throw a couple of chains on there. Or some band work, some speed work, things like that. But I have a massive toolbox that I kind of dip into. So if you are looking for personalized bespoke programs, hit your boy up. My links are in the if you hit me up on Instagram, or if you drop me a message here and you're looking for a personalized program or what have you, and it's bespoke, it's not ChatGPT, I do those little things as well if you are interested. I'm not trying to sell it to you, but if you are interested, let me know. Okay, I haven't filmed the warm-ups. No point really. I was going to go to these. I actually did do 60 kilos. What I've decided on is a very low incline. I'm doing a low incline, but with a reasonably close grip. Just having to focus on that lockout. So I'm getting a bit more tricep engagement. So kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So I actually ended up doing 60 kilos for 20 reps. I said I haven't filmed all of that. I did 60 kilos for 20 reps, and then I did 100 kilos for 5 reps. And what we all know, 1
140 for 5. So I'm just going to get three sets of 5 with 140. Going to probably do a little bit of side delt work as well, because I think just having strong delts overall is always pretty important. I said to you guys, I think already, I've been doing quite a lot of standing press recently, just trying to break my body back in. I haven't gone heavier than 140 recently. I think you probably saw a video a couple of weeks ago of hitting the 5x5 with 140. But I'd imagine if I was to test it out, I'd imagine 160's probably there again. I think I'm a long way off 180, but I think 160 is probably there at the moment, for maybe a couple of reps, I don't know. I'll test it out at some point. Right, going to get my second round. So I'm deliberately staying reasonably flat back, so I'm not really arching all that much. Again, because I'm deliberately working on that deliberate extended range of motion. And I've also set the J hooks deliberately 1 too high. Ordinarily I'd have it 1 notch down, but that way I know I've got to really extend. Now in doing so, it is kind of unfurling my shoulders a little bit. But there is method to the madness, I assure you. I'm a very long-armed lifter. It's weird. There is no reason, you can probably see from my arm length here, my reach is actually well over 80 inches, believe it or not. I'm pretty tall, but I'm not freakishly tall. I'm 1m89, which is just under 6'3". I'm just a speck under 6'3", but my reach, I can't remember exactly what it was. I did measure it, but it's like well over 80 inches, which makes no sense. But I've got very, very, very big hands as well, so that adds to it, because my hands are, I think from top to bottom, my hands are like 9 inches from top to bottom. That's why I've got a good grip, because I've just got giant hands. Right, anyway, last one. Feels fine. Feels fine. Well, I said, just wanted three sets, because this is my very low volume day. I felt good. Felt good.
Okay, I'm just going to finish off a little bit of side delts. I'm going to get 3 sets of side delts. Again, I do loads of side delt work in my bodybuilding days, but I'm going to go a little bit heavier, moderate weight, moderate reps. So I'll probably use maybe something like my 22 kilo dumbbells for like 3 sets of 10, something along those kind of lines. On a good day, when I'm going heavier on dumbbells, I can actually do the 32s in reasonably good form. As 32 kilo dumbbells go, my form isn't the worst you've ever seen. I've done much heavier than that, but like with a swing. But what I'd say in pretty good form, I can hit my 32s for a few sets. But for the purpose of today, 22s for 3 sets of 10 will be absolutely fine.
struggled with. Just to isolate them. I mean, something obviously works because my shoulders are reasonably big, but to actually really isolate my side delts, I do find that I tend to have to do much lighter weight. As I said, my shoulders aren't bad, pretty strong, pretty decent size, reasonably capped, but I have got really, really, really strong and very dominant traps, and my traps always want to do all the work. So side delts are something I've really had to, I'm not too bad nowadays, but side delts are something I really, really had to work on. Yeah, from an aesthetic point of view, like if you're looking for that sort of V-taper and what have you, side delts are an absolute must. If you want that sort of, that width. Because even though I do pride myself on strength, I try to keep myself in reasonable shape as well. I'm relatively aesthetically pleasing for a guy who weighs 300 pounds. You know, you want to be, I like trying to be basically like a hybrid. I want to be reasonably big, reasonably strong, and in reasonably good shape. But not just physically to look at, but cardiovascularly as well. You guys know I'm obsessed with cardio. I was downstairs in my gym this morning at 25 to 5. Hitting rounds with the assault bike and a skier over there. I ended up getting up to 300 calories between the pair of them, 150 calories each. I did that over the space of about 40 minutes, thereabouts. So it's pretty difficult at 5 in the morning though, or whatever, 4:30, 5. Alright, last one of these. Okay, that's enough. I'm going to very quickly do one set of band pushdowns, just one giant set. I'm going to do something like 100 repetitions, just to be honest with you, for tendon health. This isn't going to be building strength for my triceps by any means. Just get a little bit of blood in the area. If you're someone who suffers from tendonitis, be doing a bit of heavy lifting, I highly recommend a bit of high rep band work. You won't get a stretch, but you get a really good contraction. And it's just good at flushing blood into the area. Like your tendons, you know what it's like when you get tendonitis. It can be very debilitating. And I've suffered with it on and off the year, so I like to throw in some high rep stuff here and there as well. So I've just set my band up overhead. So I'm doing overhead extensions, which, as I said, I really find you get a nice little stretch in the elbow, which for a band it's quite difficult to get a stretch. So I do find overhead work is quite helpful. But I get a really nice pump. And again, I'm not looking to do what you say full-on bodybuilding reps. I'm just looking to kind of pump the area full of blood. So it is as simple as that. Now, if I was doing this in a bodybuilding style, then it would be slow, hold that pause, lock out, pause, lock out, negative, lock out. But with bands, I do find they work a lot better if you just simply kind of flush the area with blood with pump, pump, pump. Okay. Now so this is around 20 reps now, and already, even though this band is pretty light, already I'm starting to feel a nice little pump around the elbow. Now tendons don't have their own blood supply. You have to flush the area with blood. Or so I've been told anyway, so I've read. So that's why tendonitis tends to hang around quite a lot. So if you do want to kind of speed up the process, I highly recommend flushing the area with blood, even if it feels uncomfortable. By the time you get the blood pumping through, you might find that you start to feel a bit better. And you have to remember, blood is what heals. Blood carries the nutrients. So when we eat, when we get those good quality proteins, and they're broken down into amino acids in our bloodstream, if you engorge the area with blood, you are kickstarting the healing process. I know I sound like a bit of a gym bro, but I've been doing this a really long time, and I assure you it works. I don't know if it flies in the face of science or not. I'm sure a few of the science-based lifters out there would be laughing at this old man in his back garden lifting weights, but I'm the best part of 50, and I'm still reasonably big and I'm still reasonably strong, so I'm maybe doing something right. Right, I'm going to do 20 more. I think I am around 100-ish. I'm not 100% certain, to be honest with you, because I was talking to you